Hi my little goslings, and welcome back to my random thoughts on Thursdays. This week I'm going to have myself a little rant against vegans. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to have myself a little rant against vegans. Now, personally, I don't care what kind of a diet people eat. You can eat, whatever particular diet you want. If you want to be a fruitarian, or if you want to be a vegetarian, or you want to be a, I don't know what. There's so many different, like raw food. I mean, there's so many different types of diets out there. And I personally prefer a low-carb diet, although I haven't been sticking to mine very well lately, and that's a whole other issue entirely. But I tend to like the kind of the paleo low-carb type of diet where I eat a lot of lean proteins, and yes, that includes red meat, including beef. I do eat lean beef. Usually, it could be beef, it could be buffalo, bison, etc., or lean cuts of beef or lamb, or other types of red meats. But I also eat chicken and fish and that kind of thing, and pair that up with lots of veggies and some fruit as well, and some whole grains. I like to eat quinoa a lot. I like eating oatmeal for breakfast on occasion, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like whole grains. So I don't forgo grains entirely, but I try to avoid, when I'm really sticking to the diet, I try to avoid any added sugars other than what's naturally occurring in like the fruit or the vegetables themselves. And I try to avoid processed breads, pasta, that kind of thing. So that's basically how I eat. And like I said, I don't care if you're a vegan. I honestly don't. It doesn't, like if that's how you choose to eat, whether for ethical reasons or health reasons or whatever, feel free to eat however you feel is best suited for you, and I will eat however is best suited for me. Where my rant comes in is the more militant faction of vegans out there who feel it is their duty to tell people, especially people who eat like a paleo diet like I do, when I stick to it, that I'm some kind of evil monster for eating meats and that kind of thing in my diet. I'm sorry, but humans have been eating meat for thousands of years. In fact, I remember some of the scientific articles I've read, both in Scientific American and some stuff on Discovery Channel, that kind of thing, where they talk about what early humans might have eaten, and before we became hunters necessarily, when we were still like semi-tree dwellers, that kind of thing, they actually speculated that humans might have actually been scavengers, and therefore by the time they actually got to the remains of a lion kill or whatnot, there was very little meat left, but the humans could eat the marrow out of the bones, which the lions wouldn't get at, or usually wouldn't get at. And so, so humans have kind of evolved from that. And I know there's so many people who, like, there's studies out there that say that we're omnivores. There's other studies out there that say that we're not omnivores. Although, to be perfectly honest, everything I've researched myself, not that I'm an expert by any means, I think the studies out there that the vegans are referring to are bogus, to be perfectly honest with you. I think if you truly are, if you're vegan, that's fine. You don't need a bogus study to justify why you're eating the way you're eating. But people are using these bogus studies to try and force the rest of us to try and eat vegan as well, because gosh, save the animals, etc. I'm sorry, but I think animals are very tasty, and I am not going to cut them out of my diet. In fact, I did try going vegan once, several years ago, more like 15, 20 years ago. I actually did a research on the cattle industry, and while it was somewhat disturbing in terms of how they handle the cows and all, and the butchering and all that stuff, that actually wasn't what turned me vegan. It was the environmental impact of cattle on the environment. Studies show that a cow will produce about 40 gallons of methane daily, and there's about 1 billion cows on the planet. So we have about 40 billion gallons of methane being pumped into the air every day from all these cows. And at the time I thought, well, you know, that's gotta have some impact on the environment. You know, if not to the same level of factories and cars do, but that's gotta factor in there somewhere. And I started looking at alternative ways of eating, and so I tried not eating meat. And after about 2 months of not eating meat, I felt terrible. I mean, and I was following, you know, all the things that they recommend for a vegan diet in terms of, you know, making sure I got enough protein from my legumes and some nuts, and, you know, making sure I used, you know, tofu in my diet, and all this kind of things. And because I crave meat, I was using a number of these kind of like pseudo meat products that are made from soy, but they, you know, kind of give the texture and mouthfeel of meat so that you kind of help with that craving. But I was eating a very, very healthy, balanced vegan diet. I mean, I followed all the recipes, you know, I found all sorts of interesting ways of cooking, and I've actually incorporated some of that into my cooking even today, even though I'm eating meat again. But it just, my body didn't like it at all. I just felt absolutely horrible. I was weak, I had no energy, it's just absolutely horrible all the time. And so I decided to go out and have a steak, and I had a steak and I felt fantastic, and I'm like, okay, I'm going back to eating meat again. And it's just like, it's my body, and my body requires eating meat. Some people don't, and that's okay. But don't come up to me and tell me that I'm some sort of evil, horrible person just because I like eating meat. I mean, billions of people on the planet eat meat. And, you know, you're not going to convert the rest of us to not eating meat. You know, it's just not going to happen. I do sometimes eat vegan, or vegetarian or whatnot. I mean, today I had a veggie burger for lunch. You know what? They're tasty. I like them. And sometimes, you know, it's real quick. You can just throw it in the microwave and zap it and stick it on. And I was bad. I put it on a bun. But so there, and like I said, I'm kind of failing with the low carb right now. But in general, just stop preaching to us. You know, just like, you know, like I'm an atheist, and I don't go around telling people that you have to become an atheist, otherwise you're wasting your life or whatever. I don't do that. You know what? People believe in what they believe in. You know, you eat what you eat, and, you know, it's a personal choice. I mean, I am very much about choice. And that's the irony of it, is because I bet you the majority of people who follow a vegan lifestyle tend to be on the more liberal scale when it comes to politics. Therefore, you're probably pro-choice, right? Anyway, that is my rant for the day, is basically, if you're a vegan, that's fine. Just don't tell me not to go out there and eat that steak, because you know what? I love the steak. I think it's delicious, and I'm not going to stop eating it. But that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Please like this video if you are enjoying my occasional rants. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. And until next week, take care, and remember to embrace randomness. Bye-bye.